Long before kings fought for the Iron Throne, before the Seven Kingdoms were united, and centuries before Game of Thrones, there existed creatures so powerful that dragons weren't simply beasts of war. They were symbols of absolute power, living weapons capable of reducing mighty castles to ash in moments. For nearly 300 years, this family ruled. Some became legends feared across the world, and others vanished before their potential was realized. From the gigantic Balerion the Black Dread, whose shadow could swallow entire... This dragons will complete story of House of the Dragon.
No one truly knows where dragons first came from. Some ancient scholars believe they were created by blood magic. Others claim they are the volcanic fires of the 14 Flames.
One civilization mastered them unlike any other. The freehold of Valyria. Not merely a kingdom, it was the greatest empire the world had ever seen. Valyria's cities glittered with black stone. Its roads stretched across continents. Its true power was not gold. It was dragons. 40 noble families ruled the empire. These families were known as dragon lords. They forged mysterious bonds with dragons. A dragon would not obey an ordinary man, but to its chosen rider.
Everything changed because of one young woman, Daenerys Targaryen. Known to history as Daenerys the Dreamer. In her dreams, she saw fire. She begged her father to leave Valyria. Many dismissed her visions as madness, but her father believed her. House Targaryen abandoned the greatest empire. Taking their dragons and wealth, they settled on Dragonstone.
To many, it seemed like a foolish decision. The doom of Valyria. Without warning, entire mountains exploded.
The greatest civilization ever known simply vanished. Almost every Dragonlord family was destroyed. Military strength. It came because one girl believed her dreams. The Targaryens became the last Dragonlords in existence, the only family left capable of riding dragons.
For nearly a century, Targaryens remained on Dragonstone, watching a young lord named Aegon toward a divided land called Westeros. At the time, Westeros was not one united kingdom. It was divided into 7 rival realms. They believed no single force could ever unite the continent. They had never faced dragons. Aegon Targaryen possessed only a small army. Compared to the kings of Westeros, his military was insignificant. But numbers no longer mattered. Because Aegon possessed 3 living weapons unlike anything the world had ever seen. The first, born in Valyria itself before the Doom. He was the last to see the greatest civilization. His wings cast entire villages into darkness. His scales were black as midnight. His flames could melt. Entire armies fled before swords were even drawn. Though smaller than Balerion during the conquest, Vhagar was still one of the Largans alive.
As the years passed, Vhagar continued growing until she be almost as legendary as Balerion himself, and deadlier with every passing decade.
The third dragon belonged to Queen Rhaenys. Her beloved dragon was Caraxes. Caraxes possessed silver scales. She was smaller than Vhagar to destroy castles.
Together, Balerion, Vhagar, and Caraxes changed history forever. In 2 BC, Aegon and his sisters launched their invasion of Westeros. One kingdom after another fell by dragonfire. Kings who refused to kneel watched their armies. No conventional army could defeat dragons. Soon, most kings bent the knee. One kingdom resisted. Dorne. During their campaign against Dorne, tragedy struck. Caraxes was struck in the eye. The great dragon crashed from the sky. Rhaenys disappeared with her. Aegon forged the Iron Throne from the swords of defeated kings. The 7 kingdoms were united beneath one ruler. And their descendants. With Aegon's conquest complete, the Targaryens ruled Westeros from the newly forged Iron Throne. Yet their greatest source of power was never the throne itself.
For the next century, dragons became an inseparable part of Targaryen life. Every generation saw new hatchlings emerge. Drags were considered priceless treasures.
The bond between dragon and rider remained one of the greatest mysteries in the world. A dragon could sense few succeeded. Some paid with their lives.
As the dragons multiplied, King Maegor ordered the construction of the Dragon Pit in King's Landing. It was an enormous stone dome designed to house the growing number of dragons close to the royal family.
While the Dragon Pit protected the dragons from thieves and assassins, confined within stone walls soaring freely over Dragonstone, dragons gradually became smaller and the age of dragons had reached its peak. Nearly 20 dragons lived under Targaryen rule. Some were ancient veterans of conquest, others were young hatchlings destined to make history. It was during this golden age that King Viserys Targaryen inherited the throne. His reign was peaceful, the realm prospered, but beneath the surface,
one succession dispute, one divided family. The Dance of the Dragons.
When the Dance of the Dragons began, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen's supporters became known as the Blacks. Their greatest advantage was not their armies, it was the number of dragons they commanded.
Among them all, none inspired more fear. Caraxes was nicknamed the Bloodworm. He looked unlike any other dragon, his neck twisted like a serpent. Caraxes was ridden by Prince Daemon Targaryen, one of the greatest warriors of his age. The dragon perfectly reflected his rider, aggressive, fearless, unpredictable.
Fought in the brutal war for the Stepstones, where he rained fire upon pirate fleets and enemy fortresses. By the time the dance began, he was one of the most battle-hardened dragons alive. His roar echoed across battlefields like thunder. His speed allowed him to outmaneuver much larger opponents. And when battle finally came, Caraxes would become a legend.
Syrax, Issimere. Even so, Syrax represented far more than military strength. She symbolized Rhaenyra's rightful claim to the Iron Throne, but the future ruler of Westeros.
If speed alone decided battles, no dragon could rival Meleys. Known as the Red Queen, her brilliant scarlet scales shimmered like burning embers.
Though older than many dragons, Meleys remained astonishingly swift. Her rider was Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, experienced, respected throughout the realm. Rhaenys understood the danger, unlike younger riders driven by pride. Together, they shared decades of trust.
Many believed Meleys could have defeated even larger dragons through speed and intelligence alone. Her greatest test, however, was still to come. The young Prince Jacaerys Velaryon rode Vermax. Though not yet fully grown, Vermax showed remarkable intelligence and courage. His green scales reflected sunlight like polished emeralds.
Jacaerys relied upon Vermax not only during war, but also during diplomatic missions across Westeros. Together, they flew farther than most dragons of their generation.
Young and energetic, Arax had barely entered adulthood. Like his rider, he had never truly experienced war. Neither realized that Westeros forever.
Prince Joffrey Velaryon's dragon was Tyraxes. Still considered young during the dance, Tyraxes represented the future generation of House Targaryen. Tyraxes might have become one of the greatest dragons in history. Instead, he inherited a kingdom already consumed by civil war.
Unlike massive dragons that relied upon brute strength, Moondancer depended upon speed, precision, and agility. Many underestimated her because of her size.
Together, Caraxes, Syrax, Meleys, Vermax, Arax, Tyrax, and several riderless dragons waiting on Dragonstone.
On paper, victory seemed inevitable, but dragons alone could not guarantee success. Among them flew the oldest living dragon in the world, a creature that had witnessed nearly 2 centuries of history. A dragon whose shadow alone could bring armies to their knees. The ancient Queen of Dragons was about to enter the war. As Queen Rhaenyra gathered her supporters on Dragonstone, another faction rose in King's Landing. They became known as the Greens, loyal to King Aegon II Targaryen.
If Balerion had been the king of dragons, then Vhagar was their queen. She had conquered Westeros alongside Aegon, yet Vhagar still lived. Time had transformed Vhagar. Her wings blotted out the sun. Her roar echoed across mountains, told a story. She outlived her riders. Eventually, Vhagar chose a new rider. Prince, no dragon embodied strength more than Vhagar. Wherever they appeared, fear followed. Battles ended before they began.
King Aegon II rode Sunfire, a dragon renowned for his breathtaking beauty. His wings glowed with pale pink membranes. Many believed he was the most beautiful dragon ever seen. But beneath that beauty lay extraordinary determination. Sunfire refused to surrender, again to words that should have ended his life. His resilience became legendary.
Another legendary dragon in the Green's ranks was Dreamfire. She had lived for decades before the dance began and had carried multiple riders throughout her long life. The Greens possessed fewer dragons than the Blacks, yet they had Vhagar, and in war could outweigh several younger ones. As both factions prepared for battle, another group of dragons waited in silence. They belonged to no king, no queen, no army. While princes and queens fought over the Iron Throne, several dragons lived freely on Dragonstone. Unlike the dragons raised beside humans, these creatures answered to no one.
Among the riderless dragons stood Vermathor. Once ridden by King Jaehaerys I Targaryen, Vermathor had earned the nickname the Bronze Fury. After King Jaehaerys died, Vermathor accepted no new rider for many years. He remained deep within Dragonstone's volcanic caverns, watching, waiting.
Beside Vermathor often rested Silverwing, the beloved Queen Alysanne Targaryen.
Legends claimed she enjoyed flying great distances simply to explore the world. Yet even gentle dragons, if threatened, Silverwing could unleash terror. Far from the castles lived one of the strangest dragons ever known, Sheepstealer. Unlike dragons fed by royal caretakers, Sheepstealer hunted wild sheep across Dragonstone.
Sheepstealer dragon avoided humans whenever possible. For years, countless people attempted to claim him. Most failed. Some never returned. The most mysterious dragon on Dragonstone was Grey Ghost. His pale grey scales blended perfectly with sea mist. He avoided both humans and other dragons. Rather than hunting livestock, Grey Ghost survived mainly by catching fish along the coast. Many people lived their entire lives without ever seeing the dragon. Then there was one dragon. No dragon inspired greater fear. No one knew exactly when he had been born. Dragon's scales were as black as midnight. His eyes glowed with savage intelligence. Unlike every other dragon, he hunted his own kind. His presence reminded everyone that dragons were not noble creatures. They were apex predators, ancient, wild, and impossible to fully control. The dragons were far more than weapons. They shaped kingdoms. They decided wars. They carried kings and queens through the skies. They inspired hope.
The Targaryens believed dragons made them invincible. Instead, the Dance of the Dragons proved was never an outside enemy. It was division within their own family. The dragons obeyed no politics. They understood no claims to the throne. When civil war erupted, they simply became instruments of destruction.